Hello, lovelies. I'm going to go over what's called the order of operations. And I created this little cartoon. Let me know if you get it. All right. So, order of operations in math is talking about addition. That's an operation that you do in math. Subtraction is an operation that you conduct in math, multiplication, and division. So the order of operations in math refers to the order in which you do the either adding first or subtracting first or multiplying first or division first. So get it? Hello, waiter. He's ordering an operation. He's ordering an appendectomy, like a medical, and a tonsillectomy, like getting his tonsils out. And please, can I have those with a side of antibiotics? I'm so funny. Okay, whatever. I try to be entertaining. Okay, so the order of operations come into play when we have a problem like this, when we have a problem that has more than one operational sign in it. So here we have 6 minus 1 times 4. So what was happening is in the world, I don't have a good marker, that's okay. In the world, people were coming up with different answers. So some people would say, oh, the answer is 20. And some people would say, oh, no. The answer is not 20, it is 2. And they're like, wait, so which one is it? So they got together and they kind of said, well, we have to have some rules about what we do first. So they decided on the rules, and I actually have those here. They decided on the rules that they were going to use they came up with the order of operations, okay? And the order of operations rule, different teachers use slightly different acronyms, but PEMDAS is kind of the is the one that we're going to use in 6th grade. Okay, so PEMDAS tells us what we have to do first. So the first thing we do is we look at the equation and we look to see if there are any parentheses. Parentheses look like this. You've got numbers and whatever else in the middle. Brackets look like this, and there's stuff in between, and braces look like this. So we just use the P for parentheses, but it means for parentheses, brackets, or braces. So if this had parentheses here, we would have to do whatever's in the parentheses first. So that would be 6 minus 1. We would have to do that first, times 4. So we just fix one thing at a time, and that's where we come up with a 20, okay? If the parentheses were here, then it would be, we'd have to do 1 times 4 first, and it would be 6 minus 4, which is where we come up with a 2. When there's no parentheses, though, we have to follow the order of operations because, believe it or not, subtraction is not more important than multiplication. They actually decided that multiplication was more important than subtraction and had to be done first. So, but before we get to that, I want to go over what the E stands for. The E stands for exponents. Now, in 6th grade, we're not going to work with exponents very often. So I'm going to just kind of cross them out because they exist and you need to know about them, but we're not going to have exponents in our equations. I do want to go over them though. Exponents are when you have a big number and then you have a little number on the top. This little number is called an exponent. So anytime you see an exponent, you have to take care of that first. Now this doesn't mean 3 times 2. Nope. It does not mean 3 times 2. It means the big number is written twice, and there's a multiplication sign in between them. So 3 to the power of 2, or 3 squared, actually equals 9. Okay, we're going to just practice a couple more because it's kind of fun. If I have 2 to the power of 3, it doesn't mean 2 times 3. It means you write the big number 3 times and you multiply them. So that means 2 times 2 is 4. I still have the times 2 over here. So 4 times 2 is 8. So 2 to the power of 3, or 2 cubed, equals 8. It doesn't equal 6. Okay, we'll practice another one. Let's do 5 to the power of 4. It doesn't mean 20. It doesn't mean 5 times 4. It means you take the big number and you write it 4 times. 5 times 5 times 5 times 5. Okay, so I've got 25 times 5 times 5. I'm going to solve one thing at a time. It's going to kind of make an upside down triangle. Now I've got 25 times 5, which is 125. I still have this 5 to deal with. 125 times 5, oh my gosh, you're going to make me think now, is, I believe it's 600 something, but I'm going to have to double check, and I'm going to just do it this way. Times 5 is 25, 10, 11, 12, 625. So 125 times 5 is 625. So 5 to the power of 4 is 625, not 20. Big difference, right? So that's what an exponent is. So you always look for parentheses first and do anything that's in the parentheses first. Then you have to look at, are there any exponents? And we have to take care of the exponents next. Then we look for anything that is multiplication and division. Now this is really, really important. Between multiplication and division, one is not more important than the other. They are equally important. So when you come across multiplication and division, if there's a problem that's like 5 times 4 divided by 2, you go left to right. All right, or if it's 16 divided by 4 times 9, the division, the multiplication is not more important than the division just because it's here. It could have been PEDM. The division and multiplication are of equal importance. So if it has two, if it has both of them in there, we start from left and we move to the right. So we would solve this part first. So it'd be 4 times 9, because 16 divided by 4 is 4. And then we would say times 9, which this would equal 36. Okay, so multiplication is, one is not more important than the other. I'm just going to say they are equally important. I'm going to make it positive. They are equally important. Go left to right, just like how we read. Okay, so multiplication and division are after parentheses. You do everything in parentheses first. You do everything, all the exponents, which we're not going to have to worry too much about in 6th grade. Then if you see any multiplication and division, then you do those. If you have both of them, you go left to right. Okay, then the last thing is we have addition and subtraction. So with addition and subtraction, it's the same rule as multiplication and division. So we've got addition and subtraction are equally important. Subtraction is not more important than addition, and addition is not more important than subtraction. And what you do is, we're going to say the same thing. They are equally important. If both of them exist, you go left to right, just like how you read. So for example, if you have 3 minus 2 plus 6, all right, we just go left to right. So it becomes 3 minus 2 is 1 plus 6. And then our answer becomes 7. You see how I'm making this upside down triangle? Oops, you can't see that very well. I'm making this kind of upside down triangle because I'm only solving one thing at a time. I solved 3 minus 2 first, and then I just rewrote the rest of the problem, and it equals 7. And if it's the other way, I'm going to make a longer one of 6 plus 10 minus 4 plus 2 minus 6. Okay, we just go left to right. So I'm going to make a bigger upside down triangle. I have to start with 6 plus 10, which is 16. I'm going to rewrite the rest of it exactly the way it is. Then I'm going to do 16 minus 4, which is 12. I'm going to rewrite the rest of it. 12 plus 2 is 14 minus 6. 14 minus 6 is 8. So I finish it up and I find out that it's 8. But I did this first, then I did this, then I did it to that. So you go left to right. All right? Okay, let's practice this a little bit. We're going to start with 9 plus 3 divided by 2. All right? So 9 plus 3 divided by 2. I wrote PEMDAS on the side here, and I have it color-coded the same way so that I can remember that multiplication and division are equally important, and addition and subtraction are equally important, but that multiplication and division does happen before addition and subtraction. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to look for is parentheses. Actually, first thing I'm going to do is make that upside down triangle. All right, so I'm going to look for any parentheses. Do I have parentheses? Yes, I do. So I have to do that first. 9 plus 3 is 12. And now I'm going to rewrite the rest of my problem exactly the way it is. I'm just going to kind of bring this part down. I solved this part. I'm bringing the rest down. Do I have any parentheses left? Nope, done with parentheses. Do I have any exponents? Nope, no little numbers in the air. Multiplication and division. Sure enough, I have a division problem here. In fact, that's the only thing I have left. So 12 divided by 2 is 6. So my answer becomes 6. Okay, check out the next one. I'm going to make my upside down triangle because it should just get smaller and narrower and narrower and narrower as we go on. 36 minus 4 plus 8 divided by 4. All right, so we have to look here first. Do we have any parentheses? Yes, we do. So I'm going to solve the parentheses first. 4 plus 8 is 12. Now I'm going to rewrite the rest of the equation exactly the way it's written. But I'm going to keep the 12 in the middle because that's where it existed. I'm going to bring my 4 next to it and my 36 in front of it. All right. So now I'm going to go back to PEMDAS. Do I have any parentheses left? No. Do I have any exponents? No. And now I'm looking at just this one. I'm not looking at this one because I've already solved part of it. Do I have any multiplication or division? I sure do. I have to do this part next. So 12 divided by 4 is 3. And now I'm going to rewrite the rest of this exactly the way, exactly the way it was written. I'm just bringing it down into this part. Solve one part at a time. Okay, any parentheses? No. Any exponents? No. Any multiplication or division? No. All I have left is subtraction. 36 minus 3 is 33. Done. I've solved all of them. Okay. Last one of these. I'm going to make my upside down triangle so that I can remind myself that it should get smaller each time. Any parentheses? Why, yes, I have parentheses right here. Right now I have 15 plus 24 divided by 8 minus 2. Even though this is a subtraction, and subtraction and addition are the last things we do, it's in parentheses. So we have to do it first. We actually have to do it first. So I'm going to go ahead and do 8 minus 2 is 6. And now I'm going to rewrite the rest of this exactly the same, making it a little bit narrower as we go down. All right. So now I have, do I have any parentheses? Nope. Any exponents? Nope. Any multiplication or division? Yes, I have to do that part next. 24 divided by 6 is 4. I'm going to rewrite the rest of the equation exactly the way that it is, it's meant to be. And so now I have 15 plus 4. I don't have anything. I have one operation left. I don't really have to go through all of this if I have one operation left. 15 plus 4 is 19. Okay. This next page, I want to show you what happens when you move the parentheses around. So here we have, all of them, we have 3 plus 5 times 6 divided by 2. So it's all the same equation, but on this one we have the parentheses on 3 plus 5, and on this one we have the parentheses on 6 divided by 2. So we're going to solve it using PEMDAS. No parentheses, no exponents. Okay, next, multiplication and division. We have both multiplication and division. You remember our rule, if we have both of those, we just go left to right. So the first one we have to do is this right here. So 5 times 6 is 30. I'm going to rewrite the rest of this problem exactly the way it is up here, and I have to make sure that the 30 stays in between. There's a 3 plus in front of it and a divided by 2 behind it. I have to keep it in the right order. All right, no parentheses, no exponents, multiplication, division, I do have that there. So I'm going to solve that part next. 30 divided by 2 is 15. I'm going to rewrite just the first part there. 3 plus 15, all I have left is the plus. I don't have to worry about PEMDAS. I have one operation, is 18. So when there's no parentheses, the answer is 18. How does it change if we do this one first? Okay, so in this case, we have this part first. The parentheses tell us that we have to do the 3 plus 5 first. So we're going to have 8. I'm going to rewrite the whole rest of the thing exactly the way it's written. 8 times 6 divided by 2. Okay, I don't have any more parentheses. I don't have any exponents. I do have multiplication and division, but I have to go left to right because I have both of them, and one's not more important than the other. I just have to go left to right now. So the first thing I'm going to have to do is the multiplication because that's the first thing I come to. 8 times 6 is 48 divided by 2. So I'm just going to rewrite the rest of it over here. 48, I don't have any, I have one operation left. So I don't have to worry about PEMDAS. My answer is 24. All right. Same numbers, but this time my parentheses are here. So looking at this, I have to do my parentheses first. 6 divided by 2 is 3. I'll put my things in. I have to rewrite the rest of this exactly the way it is in the order. 3 is the very last thing, so I have to write this 3 plus 5 times and then whatever the parentheses was. Okay, no more parentheses, no exponents. Multiplication and division, sure do, have it right there. 5 times 3 is 15. I'm going to rewrite my 3. And now I've got 3 plus 15 is 18. So these two ended up being the same, but do you see how they got there in a different way? Let me back this up just a little bit so that you can see both of them. These two ended up with the same answer, but they got there slightly differently. This one went from 3 plus 5 times 6 divided by 2 to 3 times 30 divided by 2. This one went to 3 plus 5 times 3. Both ended up, the second one came down to 3 plus 15, 3 plus 15. So it ended up being 18 total, but it had a different path to get there. So they actually are a little bit different. So that is the order of operations. Remember, parentheses first, which is also brackets and braces, exponents, multiplication and division, which are of equal importance. Just go left to right, just like how you read. Then once all the multiplication and division is done, then you move on to adding and subtracting. And if you have both of them, then you go left to right, just like how you read. Right? Thank you.